Okay, one of the things that I'm kind of interested in, maybe unusual stuff that you've not heard of, you know, aside from brands like Fender, Squier, and that sort of stuff. This company, Donner, the first time I can remember kind of really thinking about Donner in a new way was when I saw that Gilad Hexelman on his board had a little Donner looper, twin looper. He's touring the world playing kind of jazz stuff and doing some live looping stuff on a Donner piece of gear. They've asked me if I would demo it, although it's difficult to get this box out. Right, here we go. Moment of truth. So, this is the DST600. Price range, we're talking a little under like a Fender Player Series, I think. And I'm hoping... Okay, it's a nice kind of Fiesta Red type vibe. That actually is pretty impressive looking to me. Right, let's tune it up. I'll give you a close up of the frets. It's got this really lovely kind of creaminess to the red. Have a look at the frets. Of course, this has come straight out of the box. I think they're direct kind of international kind of dealers. Well, that's a pretty decent level of quality. Let's tune it up and see what it sounds like. 22 frets. Yeah, definitely an option. This channel is supported by Truefire. Truefire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. So here we are then, the moment of truth. You plug it in, you tune it up. What does it sound like? What does it play like? Some cool things to bear in mind with this guitar: 9.5-inch radius, steel saddles, and something you definitely don't normally see at this price range, a bone nut. Now, I think it's significant and worth mentioning because at this price range, you see a lot of compromises on these types of guitars versus a more expensive guitar. One of those compromises on this particular guitar, we've got an alder body, which is quite common to see on the Japanese-made stuff, and Eastern guitars in general. Sometimes you'll see an alder body. On the PRS Silver Sky, for instance, they use a poplar body. Definitely plastic nut on those as well. Even on the Squier guitars, plastic nuts. So interesting, really solid feeling tuners as well, so that's good. A very well cut nut, steel saddles, Alnico 5 pickups, and in general I'm getting like a vibe of quality. The one area on here that I think, you know, this has come straight out of the box. There's nothing glaringly, you know, awry with it. It seems pretty tidily made. Price point £400, so we're talking sort of that gap between Squier and Fender. I'd easily put it in that kind of quality bracket. Yeah, the Seeker series. I think it's something we should be looking at, and something to, if you saw this in a shop, I think next to some Fenders and next to some Squiers, I think you might take a look at it and think, wow, what does that thing sound like? The trem is decked out of the box. One area that I'm just going to give it a tiny bit of attention, I'm going to put some Monty's like wax on the fretboard just to lubricate that up a bit. It's looking very slightly dry at the moment, but general bone nut and Alnico 5 pickups, some decent quality feeling hardware. Poly finish looks pretty tidy. The body looks, you know, a pretty colour. I think it's not just straightforward red. It's got that kind of Fiesta vibe to it. Decent guitar, I think, especially for the money. Worth looking at if you're in the market for this sort of guitar, looking at Squiers, looking at Fenders, looking at Sires, looking at PRS Silver Skies. This is a contender, I think. The neck profile feels somewhat slim, so like a slim C, I would say, if you're looking for like a reference point. Something like the Squier classic vibes. An alder body, rosewood fretboard. So I was hoping that, you know, since Donna have asked to collaborate on this video, to be opening up the box and have a guitar there that I could, you know, enjoy playing and enjoy presenting, and I'm glad to say that is the case. I'm impressed particularly that they've gone to the trouble of including a bone nut, and the tuners feel very kind of stable in the hand. Has a bit of an air of quality about it that maybe is a little bit different at this price range, and a little bit of a more classic look perhaps than the Sire guitars at this kind of range as well. I think overall I'm quite impressed with that. I'm going to do an intro using the Donna triple threat Jack White pedal, their collaboration with Jack White, as they asked if I would do that as well. But in general, yes, I'm thinking that's a decent guitar. You know, if you could see one of these in a shop, put them up next to, you know, your Fenders and your Squiers, I think this definitely stands up there with them, and definitely an option. The frets on there feel smooth. It seems they're making pretty decent guitars here, especially when you consider this is like a £400 guitar. You could use, they've given me a link to put in the description which gives you 20% off, and then you'd have a really, really, I think, reasonable guitar here for the money.